show where we discuss the thoughts that inch their way into our brain and keep us up when we should be sleeping. I'm your host, Razlo, and tonight I have the always lovely Kat on the show to help keep me up. Tonight we're going to discuss such topics as, where's a car's butthole? Is it okay to wear a band's t-shirt to their concert? And we wonder how bored ghosts must be. Please enjoy. Kat, there's a bunch of things that are keeping me up, thoughts I need to talk about. Is that cool?
It's cool.
Like, where's a car's butthole? I mean, like, anatomically.
Do we start already?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I
thought we were warming up.
I'm a little bit confused because they always say, like, junk in the trunk.
Right. Okay.
So the trunk would be the butt. So it's like when you have a trunk where the window opens,
right.
Is that the butthole? But then the muffler...
That's a wide load.
Kind of... But then it's just kind of hanging out of nowhere. So it'd be like someone that had, this really bad prolapse and just the intestines are, which maybe that's what's happening.
Right.
But do you have any thoughts on this? I'm sure
I do have thoughts. I've actually thought about it quite a bit. Oh, that must have been waiting for you while you were sleeping.
I keep it under the sheets.
Oh, okay. Well, I see thoughts on both things that you said.
Okay.
I like to think the trunk as more of the buttocks, and I do think that the muffler is more of a butthole because...
This is off-center?
Well, not everyone's perfect.
Are there cars where the muffler's like directly in the center of the back of the car?
No, but some of them have two, and that is where things get interesting, right?
Oh,
yeah. I mean, two's better than one.
Speaking of buttholes, I was driving the other day, and that trend that happens now, where it's like the fuck the environment fucking muffler adjusts that people do.
Oh, have you seen the coal rollers?
I think that we're talking about the same thing. I don't know, but it's like they hit some switch or something in their car, and then just makes
like a billow of black smoke.
It's the worst. Yeah. It's just like...
I don't see what is cool about that.
There's nothing cool about it. It's just you're trying to make people upset, but you're you're in the most like childish way.
Right.
It's like, hey, you care about the planet. What a jerk you are. And it's just, I just don't, car nuts I can understand. I'm down with some hanging testicles, but the black smoke just shooting out the back, I'm just like, you've got a lot of issues. You've got to go see a therapist or get a hug more or something. Get some friends maybe, because there's really no good explanation for that rig.
I just think they want to just drive a moving troll where they just like annoying people with every movement of their day.
I liked it better when people were
look what I found in my sheets too.
Oh, nice. It's amazing we didn't spill this on ourselves.
Did you hear something?
I think I just opened something with my foot.
Oh, okay.
And now I'm kicking something with my foot and it's laughing, I think.
I would love to know what's in the bed right now that's making this noise. It's confusing.
It's keeping my feet warm, but occasionally licking my soles, which is a little upsetting. I was going to say something else about the car thing, but I've completely lapsed on it.
Yeah, have you completely prolapsed? Went full circle there.
Just jump rope.
with the muffler, the prolapse muffler.
And speaking of things that are hard to understand, you were telling me earlier that, no matter how crappy of a movie something is, it's somebody's favorite.
Yes. I like to think about when I see a really beeline movie where it's just the most forgettable thing you could see. And somewhere out there's a person that's really championing for Along Came Polly, you know? Like, they bring it up every day at work. They want to know your thoughts about it.
I have had people way too invested in certain movies. They're called my parents.
Well, like, what's like a good movie?
Like, what's an example? Like,
what does mom and dad like?
What was the name of the movie where it was John Travolta and a bunch of other old actors on motorcycles? Was it like Old Hogs or like what was
Wild Hogs?
Wild Hogs?
Yeah.
They're like, oh, you need to see Wild Hogs. So good.
What a delight.
So good. Oh, is it funny? And I feel like the more that's emphasized, the less funny it is.
Movies just don't make you feel good like that anymore, you know?
You know, they're old, but they're still wild. They're in diapers, but they're not taking any guff.
Like, I almost want to say, like, My Big Fat Greek Wedding 2, but for some reason, everyone loves that movie.
People saw the second one?
Probably. I mean, people love the first one.
I feel like My Big Fat Greek Wedding 2, like, kind of was in the movie theater and out before you even realized it.
Like,
whereas, like, My Big Fat Greek Wedding was, like, this event film that, like, stayed in theaters for months. Mm-hmm. Because people were like, it's so relatable. Mm-hmm.
This feels like my family.
Right. And there's some of my family that I would pay to see. But maybe not every member of my family. So, I don't know.
I'll pay not to see them.
Right. But speaking of, like, awful movies that people, like, are super attached to, that reminds me of Avatar. That movie.
I like seeing Avatar in theaters. It was a good experience.
You like 3D effects.
Not always.
The problem was that there was a movie attached to it. And that movie, and I've brought it up a million times in any chance that I have, and people are sick of hearing me talk about it, but they had full-on animal rape to drive scenes, and everyone in the theater except for me, because I was
okay with it.
He's using his ponytail penis to fucking forcibly, and these animals were like, get the fuck away from, like, they were bucking, they were just like, get the fuck away from me with your fucking hair dong, and he's just like trying to jam it right inside, and they even had like these little like tendril things from my memory that were like, get away, and it's like they pushed it in.
Do you think they have a problem with split ends? Do they have to like deep condition?
Ouch. That's like when you see
Is that like fissures?
When you see those like extreme body modifications. And you see like the people who just like look like it's like a hot dog that was in the microwave too long and it's just going.
Oh, that's visceral.
It's like ever, you know, like Aliens when the egg opens.
Yes.
And it's just like all this. It's just. That's, you know, you see something and I'm like, bless you for the ability to modify your body like that. I don't understand how it works. I don't know why you did it.
Bless your heart.
But good for you. But yeah, that's only one element of Avatar that made next to no sense and was very, very questionable.
I mean, there was a lot of elements that did not make sense. And it was most of them.
But like the world is...
Where are the rest of those movies, by the way? I think I was promised like 5 of those.
It's James Cameron, so...
James Cameron, where are you? I don't get it.
He was talking about like Battle Angel Alita before he even did Avatar, and that's still not out, and he's not even directing it. Somehow, anything that he's involved takes forever. He acts like it's the biggest thing in the world to hit, and then you watch it, and you're like, it seems like you spent a lot of time on this, but maybe you could have done something else with your time. I mean, Terminator's cool.
Terminator's great.
What else is good, James Cameron?
Titanic.
Terminator 2. Titanic is overrated, but like, I'm not mad watching it.
We were just watching that the other night, and I had so many things to say about it, and I wish I remembered all of them.
Driftwood. Everyone talks about the driftwood.
Oh no, like in the beginning of the movie when Jack...
Oh yeah, aliens. Good. Something wriggled my feet and said aliens. Which
Oh man, what is in this bed? I can't...
It's your bed.
No, the part I was talking about in Titanic was in the beginning when Jack finds her like trying to like jump off the boat. The whole thing could have been avoided if he just told the truth.
Oh,
well, that too. There'd be no movie, you're right.
Came to two different conclusions.
But if they had just told the truth.
I was thinking he would have the driftwood at the end if he just let her jump, and you're like, she could have told the truth.
Oh, thank God I let that bitch jump the other day.
I was like, I guess I went to the wrong place. I thought we were going to on three to the same
Looks
thing.
like we all met the same fate anyway.
I love it. She just had just this giant plank. You know, she could have stretched her whole body out on it.
You could have fit a whole family on there.
I've seen like videos of people like floating from other countries into the U.S.
Right.
And they're on much smaller pieces of driftwood than this. So I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe
I think he just wanted to be like the hero, you know, and didn't think it through. So
I just think he was just not ready to be tied down right now. So he drowned down.
He's like, I made a huge mistake. There's no going back from this relationship after we survive a crash. The only way if I did push her, I'll take myself out. So another thing that I'm thinking about.
What are you thinking about?
Is
it's very late.
I've kind of calmed down a lot with age. Like I deal with things easier. I don't get as stressed or worried about things. And I was wondering like how much of that calming effect is due to chemical changes, you know, in our bodies versus learned behavior.
Right.
Like I don't know what the percentage of that is or what you think.
Wow.
Do you think that's
I think we need to call in an expert. Can we phone a friend?
They'll just have to comment on the video, I guess. And then we'll never follow this up again, and we'll never...
There's not going to be a part 2.
No.
I don't know. It's probably a little bit of both. I mean, your chemicals change in your body as throughout your whole life, and as you get older, you're a little bit more grounded. You also learn a lot from things that used to rile you up and get you excited when you were younger. And,
like, even just from...
And I think as you get older, you get bored and you just give less of a shit about stuff.
But is that because you got bored because you saw so much? Or is that because you got bored because, like, you had less...
What came first,
energy?
The chicken or the egg?
The egg.
The egg?
I don't know. That's my guess. Unless the chicken's like an offshoot of some other animal, and then it's a false question because it's whatever it mutated off of came first.
Maybe it's chemical because when you're older, you just spend so much of your time like doing stuff you want to do, don't want to do, and you're just tired all the time. You just are different. Like even, you only care deeply about the stuff that's important instead of little things. I don't know. But
even like stuff like lowered testosterone, like the male testosterone like lowers as you get older, right? And like I've heard interviews with people that are trans and like transitioned from like, having a ton of testosterone in them to all of a sudden taking in a ton of estrogen, and like it changed, like they cried during movies that they never used to cry during movies, or like certain things made more sense to them, or like whatever. And I just thought like it was super interesting that like introducing just like more of this one chemical, like could totally alter someone's personality in like very significant ways. And so I'm like, how much of like me like having issues or like what are like getting upset about things or like whatever was due to like me having too much testosterone, how much of it is like, man, none of that stuff works. Like I figured out like I've seen enough to know like this isn't a big deal or
Right.
whatever. And it's like you always want to think that it's that you've learned a bunch and that you've grown
Right.
as a person. And it's like meanwhile you have like this kind of like edge that's cheating for you that's just like, let me just pare down some of this because you don't need it as much at this point in your life.
That's very interesting. I don't know. You're older than me. Do you remember what it was like to be 28?
No, I'm just too old.
Just too old. Too much time.
Being 28 was like being 38, which is what I am now. But I guess I find that as you get older, beyond your personality, just like your body fails in new weird ways. You'll just all of a sudden be like my wife, like, and this is partially related to her having a kid, but all of a sudden after she had her second pregnancy, it was like she couldn't have spicy food. Like what was spicy to her became like medium and mild, when she used to have spicy or extra spicy,
Right.
which is like a random side effect to have.
That's strange.
And like for me, it's like, oh, like my skin is more sensitive now, and I need to use like non, floral whatever detergent, like non-added whatever.
Right.
It's just weird stuff that I'm like, why is that happening?
I
Like,
know a lot of people that are pretty sensitive to detergent.
and one thing that just started happening recently, like I went to the doctor and I got like a cold or whatever, and then all of a sudden like my right ear like was all clogged up, and like my hearing was like probably like 60% less. Like I had like an earplug in my ear all the time, and then I was like, all right, whatever. It's due to this cold. It'll go away like within like a week or whatever. And then it was a month, and I still couldn't hear very well out of that one ear.
Okay,
And then I went to the doctor, and he's just like, oh, like, yeah, there's a little bit of fluid there or whatever. Like, prescribed me antibiotics, which I don't even know if they did anything.
Probably not.
But then eventually, all of a
Didn't even
sudden,
give a
one
shit
day
about
I was
your
just
ear.
like, because you're not really paying attention. Oh, right, I've got full hearing in this ear. It's fine again. And then like a few weeks ago, I got a cold again. And all of a sudden, this ear must have filled up with fluid or something, and that I couldn't hear well out of that ear. And I'm like, is this a fucking thing now? I was like, this is a stupid thing to be added. Like,
do I just lose part of my hearing every time I get the sniffles?
Yeah, I thought like stuffy noses and like dry eyes or whatever were annoying enough. Now I've got to add in like the occasional, just like, oh, like mostly deaf in one on one side due to sickness. So if you cannot age outside of don't kill yourself, I'd recommend.
I think the science is moving in that direction.
I think it's gonna be rough when people are immortal.
Fuck that.
People are pretty bad when like some people are so bad when they get older. Like, man, you've been ready for death for at least 2 decades, and they're just like, well, I'm not gonna kill myself. And it's just like,
I'm gonna get real weird with what I have left.
Yeah, and I'm just like, can't you do more like risky things with your life to just like
instead of just being angry,
help it along, because you clearly don't want to be here. Which reminds me of Flying Monkey Juicy Ass.
Oh yeah.
We were at the liquor store today, and we asked for something normal.
Yeah, well, we went to the liquor store and we wanted to get Georgia moonshine because I wanted to get some of the apple pie moonshine.
Right, apple pie flavored liquor sounds great to me because I'm like a child and I want things to taste sweet. So I was excited by that, and they didn't have any, and nor did they care to ever order any.
Yeah, well, we walk up and we say, do you guys sell Georgia Moon? He goes, oh, no, I'm sorry. And I go, okay, never mind. So we go and we look at something
then two
else.
bros like come up like right behind us and like,
Like these two vape bros, like these
Right.
scummy vape bros.
I'm not gonna throw labels on them.
I'm sorry.
They could be lovely gentlemen that just love a juicy ass. I don't know. But they go, hey man, you got any flying monkey juicy ass?
Do you guys sell any of that juicy ass?
And the guy doesn't even blink. He's just like, oh, I've been hearing a lot about that. I got to pick up some. I don't have it yet, but I can order it for you. Which then you didn't offer to order us anything, but more importantly.
What about our fucking moonshine, dude?
The point is, these microbrewers will just do fucking anything. Like, both in like what they make in terms of flavors of beer and also just like in what they'll name it. And I would love to sit into the pitch meeting if there was a pitch meeting.
Right.
For calling this particular beer Flying Monkey Juicy Ass. Now, I assume Flying Monkey, not knowing anything about beer, is a brand name of a microbrewer. And fair enough,
beer.
Like I feel like a flying monkey sometimes when I get a much to drink. So the name to start, I'm kind of okay with.
Okay. Yeah.
Juicy Ass.
I can't see you. If there was a cocktail at a bar called Juicy Ass,
I'm used to it.
And it had like pomegranate and like all these delicious things that just you would be into, you would drink that Juicy Ass in 2 shakes of a Juicy Ass.
So you're saying this is like a split off of like cocktail culture where it's like sex on the beach, like rotten vagina.
Yeah.
Like, juicy ass.
Yeah. I mean like they have to do something to keep themselves relevant. They have to be provocative, edgy. Otherwise no one's going to care about their beer. They're like I'm not going to buy flying fish ale, or not flying fish, flying monkey, golden monkey, what even beer?
Monkey.
Flying monkey. Okay. Oh, it's written down.
You had to look in the sheets to find.
What's going on in these sheets?
There's a lot happening. Yeah, I mean, I'm also. It says something about beer culture and where it's progressed, and maybe society, hopefully, that 2 bros feel comfortable walking in together into a liquor store and asking for juicy ass. Like,
boy, does this juicy ass really quench my thirst.
And I mean, I'm a fan of ass. I just don't hear many people saying, like, man, I love licking ass. I just wish I could drink it.
A lick wasn't enough. I need a whole cup.
You know what I wish vitamin water would put out? They've got that acai blueberry pomegranate, but what about a juicy ass?
That's what it tastes like to me. Where's the flavor?
It'd be more understanding there, because then you could say that's the vitamins working. Speaking of asses, I've got a phrase that people say all the time, and I feel like I need clarification on it.
What phrase?
You gotta be shitting me.
You gotta be shitting me.
In this scenario where I'm potentially shitting someone, is the visual that they're trying to paint that I'm like squatting over them, shitting upon them, or that it's like an Attack on Titan thing and I'm giant and like I've shoved them within my asshole and then I'm shitting them out? Or
is it like Anaconda?
Or is it like I'm treating them as the same as the shit that's coming out of my butt?
I think depending on the context, it could be any of those.
So I say, have you seen Avatar? They rape alien monsters with their penis ponytail. And
their PPTs.
And someone says to me, You gotta be shitting me. That really happens in that movie? What do they mean in that particular context?
Like, my brain wants to think that your body is defecating out of them. Or
What?
they are defecating out of you.
You just really fucking broke my mind. Somehow it's like a portal situation, and my anus has been it's a deep fake. My anus has been deep faked onto their anus, and then I'm shitting out of it to ruin their good name. They're just like, what? They're taking like a business proposal about the next flavor of Flying Monkey Juicy Ass, and all of a sudden they just start shitting mid-meeting, and they're like, he's got to be shitting me. I'm sorry, I got distracted by your incorrect way of saying it. What was it that you thought it was actually saying?
No, fuck you. Go back to sleep, bitch.
I seriously don't know. I got distracted by your false shitting snare. I don't remember what your clarification was.
All right, what I was trying to say, but my brain was not working for it,
I love
was
what
that
you did say.
are you shitting me am I coming out of your body like I am a shit coming out of your butthole? Like, are you defecating my corpse?
Like, the intent is, I think that you're joking with me. But in this case, the joke is by pooping me out of you.
By pooping me out of you?
I think that's what you said. Anyways.
You wanted to know what I think about it.
I think I'm going to go with that. Whenever someone says that, you got to be shitting me to me from now on. I'm either going to picture my anus.
I want the deep fake.
Deep faked onto their butthole.
Oh.
Or I'm going to picture them being shat out of my butthole.
I want like an animation of that.
Either way, it's going to change that experience whenever someone says that to me from now on. And you had some dreams about the future tonight, as I stepped in your dream, Freddy Krueger style.
Right.
And you were wondering about what would happen next that would change society so fully like the internet did.
Right. Like,
So, like, what are some, like, tech that we know about? Like, holograms are the thing that, like...
Oh, right. I keep forgetting about holograms.
People keep forgetting about holograms. Everyone talks about VR and AR and all this. And that's cool. But, like, when I can have, like, a hologram, like, projected from the ceiling or wherever, and it's, like, my whole fucking room transforms into, like, this 3D light show of, like, you know, like, all of a sudden I'm, like, in Arabia... You know, while I'm eating toaster strudels.
Right. Like, what if you have a hologram projection of, like, scenery, and when you're playing a video game, you're, like, inside of it based on the
awesome.
That would be crazy.
And you wouldn't have this thing of, like, oh, I gotta put all this gear and
that
whatever.
Would kick VR's ass.
And, like, the only issue with it that could be resolved, because it was resolved with VR, right, is that there's not tangible stuff.
Right.
Because you're not, like, touching the holograms. But they have, like, haptic feedback, like, gloves. So they could have it so, like, the glove, like, forced back against you as you're going to push the hologram. And then they have, like, those, like, they have teledildonics. So they could, like, you know, do the same thing they do for VR with those. So the hologram thing could be pretty cool. Potentially.
Would people even need to leave their house at that point?
Well, we're already making it so that people have to leave their house less and less. I feel like, especially in Japan, because they have so much tech and so many options and whatever, and you just look at, well, also, like, it's expensive and whatever,
right.
But you see this, like, birth rate just go, like,
right.
It's like this never-ending slide.
People are very concerned about their declining birth rate.
It is a tangent, yes. They're trying to get in more people from, like, other countries and stuff to work there and live there and stuff because they need someone that's willing to fill in slots or fuck to repopulate.
So fill in the slot somewhere. I don't know.
That's what teledildonics is all about.
Just fill in slots.
You got your USB slot and you have your other slots.
Welcome to Re-Extinction Dinosaur Battle Club. The moon is under attack. You need to reclaim it. Build the most brutal, fierce, and fashionable dinosaurs and win back the moon. Create fashion masterpieces. Get those dinosaurs out there. And prevent re-extinction.
I know that you want to go to sleep.
Keeping me up.
I know I keep asking questions that are preventing you from it.
It's okay.
But if, like, a Rumpelstiltskin type character came up to you, he'd have to have a big nose, like, and have to be all, like, bent, and there'd have to be some warts on it. Not related to the question at all, but... And he asked you if you could sleep... I'll let you sleep for 2 years.
Love sleeping.
Straight. You can't wake up during those 2 years. No matter what happens, you can't wake up. But for the next 10 years after that, you are going to be just as rested as if you slept each night. You'll never have to sleep again. You can, but you'll never have to sleep again. Would you say to Rumpelstiltskin, I will take that deal, put me to sleep for 2 years?
No way.
I know this is Snow White, and it's like, why did I say Rumpelstiltskin? Why didn't I just say a witch with an apple that would do this? It would have made a lot more sense.
I don't know, you were giving some pizzazz to it. I get it. I don't think I would, because a lot can happen in 2 years. And what if I'm asleep for the 2 years that are good, and they're like the 10 years that I'm awake, it's like fucking apocalypse shit is happening. Like
things
the
do
oceans
seem like they're on the downslope.
Right. I feel like 2 years.
These are the last 2 years that we have.
Right. I feel like 2 years right now is a lot. That's dog years, you know. So.
Yeah, but when you woke up, there would be a potentially new president.
But what if there isn't? Would I just go back to sleep?
You're like, I know I don't have to sleep now, but I'm going to.
I don't need to be awake now.
I think when I was younger, well, there's different years. I think if this was like in my 20s, like mid 20s or whatever, I might have said yes to this because like I had less shit going on that was like a big issue.
Right.
And so it's like, oh, like 2 years aren't going to fuck up what I got going on that much right now. But like now, it's like I've got 2 kids.
2 years.
Like missing 2 years, like especially like the first like handful of years are like the ones where like the biggest changes happen. So it's like, man, that would be like the roughest period to miss. If I missed like, you know, like 18 through 20, you know, like it not as big of a deal. Or like I don't know, 14 through to 16, like
still
big, but like I would take that over like
now.
Missing like, you know, the first like
the formative years.
Yeah, like I have such a influence on like my kids right now. They would like an older kid would be able to like understand like, oh, cool, Dad, like
right
you're gonna sleep for 2 years and be a coffee table and then like I'll be able to hang out with you whenever you want and forever, and you'll get more work done, etc. That's cool.
Would they have to like trim your like toenails and your pubes and stuff while you're asleep for 2 years? Is all that, or is like your whole,
they have to,
or are you like put on pause for 2 years? Do like poops come out?
They have to do all this already.
Whoa.
No.
You let your 2-year-old shave your pubes? That's really... You got to teach him young, I guess.
I have a Flowbee.
The Floby.
And I just have to tape it all down to make sure that doesn't get in.
Woo!
Uh,
That would not be a good flow job.
I assume if I fell asleep for 2 years, I would wake up and I would have like, hair down to here. Just the ends would be
red.
Would be red, and the rest would be like all like dark brown.
Right.
I would have like nails that would be like curling or in on themselves.
Ew.
I would. And then I'd be like, what the fuck, guys? Like, why didn't you do, all this maintenance on me? And they'd be like, who is that?
What would you do? What if you woke up and there was like tattoos on you that you didn't have before that they did to you?
I'd be thankful.
But they're really well done, but maybe not your favorite.
If they were really well done, I would potentially be thankful because I'd be like, that's rad. Like, thanks for the gifts. If they weren't stuff I wanted, though, I'd be pretty pissed.
What if it was like a big snail that would just looked really good?
Where is it?
It's on your shoulder blade. So you just have a big snail.
It just looks like I just have a snail friend.
Yeah.
I actually like that idea. It reminds me of like a Disney movie. Like you just kind of always have like your animal friend hanging out with you,
What would your snail friend's name be?
Slippy.
Slippy. That's a great name for a snail.
And a frog.
And a frog. You're right.
You had brought this up. You had a hard time. You needed me to make, sleep machine kind of noises. Like I had to go the whole
It's
time so you could
relaxing.
sleep because you were scared about ghosts.
Yeah. I don't like ghosts.
And then you thought about it a little bit and you were wondering, on a scale from 1 to 10, how bored are ghosts?
I mean, especially around here, like who they trying to impress, I have never seen ghosts like in the movies. So are they agitated, those types of ghosts? The ones I hear about in fabled tales?
I mean, like, I feel like there's like a leveling system to ghosts. And like you start off at a certain level and like you can't materialize yourself to be visible. And so that's probably the hardest way of being a ghost because you just kind of like float around. It's like nobody recognizes that you're there or
Plus no one acknowledges you.
Right.
Is it lonely?
Is
it lonely more than boring?
I think it's probably pretty lonely. I mean, there's different like ghost tales. Like sometimes the ghosts can just like go on a fucking vacation and do whatever they want. But like most ghost stories,
Vacation for a ghost.
most ghost stories have it so like the ghost is chained to the place they died. Which like how fucked up is that? They died in this place.
And now I have to
Obviously
live
have
there
traumatic like feelings about it. And then that's the only place they can hang at for eternity.
Yeah, it's kind of a rough deal.
And so like maybe they're angry.
Right.
Like how long could you keep anger going?
Yeah, especially if you died like 400 years ago and you're still haunting this place. Maybe it's time to let it go.
Well, if you're still haunting this place, I would be annoyed because like the TV would be on. I'd be like, oh, finally, some entertainment, and then they'd put it on like Real Housewives or something.
Some real entertainment.
Like, don't you know Better Call Saul is on right now? Like, what are you doing? Come on. And I just gotta like kind of like look through the window at the house I'd rather be haunting. I'd be like, look at what they're watching. They're watching Hereditary. I want to see that movie. Why aren't they watching it? Real Housewives. Now I got to know way too much about this. I wish I could just die. Oh, shit.
I am dead. What do I do now?
Yeah, I would want to be a ghost.
Nah.
Unless you're like the really super powerful ghost that can just possess people. But then that's pretty fucked up. I feel like in an age of consent,
Right.
ghost stories are like way less cool.
Right.
Because how many ghosts are consenting before possession?
I don't know.
Maybe ghosts at seances are. Because then the person, I've never been to one, but like in the movies anyways, they have like the crystal ball and they're like, ghost, speak through me. Then it's like, okay, cool.
Do you believe in ghosts?
Not like in the story way necessarily, but like we all possess some form of energy, right?
Right.
And like our energy is dispersed in different ways. So I believe that it's a possibility that when we die, our energy disperses out into the world, I doubt we would have any control over that or, whatever. And then also like, there's the people that bury themselves into tree pods and then become fucking trees or whatever.
That's a cool idea. I like that.
And I mean, they're not ghosts, but I think there's something that obviously there's physically parts of us that live on in different ways. Like they say every time like someone farts, like someone farts, you inhale some of the particles and then they're part of you for the rest of your life. So
what you're saying is
that's kind of like
just inhale the farts of your loved one because you never know what could happen.
Yeah, because then that's like a ghost kind of possessing you. It's some microscopic sense for the rest of your life.
Well, this is some pretty childish conversation, but on the other hand, would you say that you have like any things that you have an old person mentality about?
Not a lot. Like I've seen like my sister, my parents obviously, like, and a lot of people like that I went to school with or my age or something, they're just like, you know what, it's weird, like as soon as I stop caring about music, they stop making good music.
See, I don't get that mentality. Like, there's always like something worthwhile to listen to.
There is, and yet you still hear people always talk about like music nowadays.
Do people like at some point in their lives stop liking to experience new things? Is that it?
I think that it could be.
Or do they like lose touch?
Like, let's say like you were like super into emo, right?
Right.
And like that's like the main music that's being put out. I used to
love emo music.
Me too. And that's like the main music that's being put out, and all of a sudden like most music being put out isn't emo, or you can't hear it on mainstream,
right?
Whatever. And like, but you were like, fucking, this scene fucking encapsulated all of your being,
right?
Like every emo song
the
fucking
song gets me,
right?
On
like
a deep level.
Like every single like refrain, like a single tear is coming down,
right?
My face. And then it's like, all of a sudden it's like, okay, we're done with that. Then you're just, if you're this person that like this thing fully, and maybe that's why like I'm able to move on to all these different things, because I don't look at any one thing in any form of entertainment or art and go, this fully encapsulates me. This is all I've ever wanted. Like, this means everything to me. I'm like, this is pretty cool, and so is that, and so is that, and so is this. But if it did, I could see you being like, if you like hair metal or like whatever, and it's like all of a sudden that's not there. You're like, but this was the thing I liked.
Right.
This was what I was about. And so like, I'm not saying necessarily I don't actually think that's most of the people, but I can understand for certain people, it makes a little bit more sense where it's like, man, yeah, you probably do have to dig really hard to like find like new hairband music, like, because even the hairband dudes are probably trying to write some more modernish kind of shit.
Yeah, they want someone to listen to their music.
And because if they want like people to listen to the old stuff, like they'll just play one of their old songs, right?
Right. So
I guess I kind of get that, but like for me, like I like new TV, like I like new movies, like I don't. There's a bunch of people who like, I see this a lot with like cartoons. Like I still watch cartoons. Mm-hmm. And if you see anyone that was like a fan of cartoons but like didn't keep moving with them, they're like,
don't get it.
Cartoons used to be so good. What happened to them? And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like there's so many. And I think it's like nostalgia and like putting things on a pedestal and like appreciating the thing that you know versus the new. Because like the thing that you know is always going to be as good
Right.
as you know it to be. Whereas like anything new, you don't know its quality and you have to actively participate in the, art form. Like you have to actively like watch the thing and form a new opinion. You don't have to be like, oh, I fucking love like old DuckTales, and so therefore like it's always awesome, and they should just make more like this thing that I know and don't have to like try on.
Right.
But it's like new DuckTales is like a reboot, and it's like totally different in tone and art style and like actors and like objectives and like whatever, and so it's like me no like it's not like this, and it doesn't have the actors that are dead that I like on it.
Do you think you would still watch cartoons if you didn't have young children?
I never stopped watching cartoons. Like and I thought though like I would influence my kids a lot more on like what cartoons they watch, but like I will let them watch stuff that I absolutely hate because it's like stuff that they like. But I'm trying to think of like if there's
I guess
something...
you're allowed to like different things.
I mean, like, I think there's a lot of... I think I get bored easier, maybe. Maybe that's like my answer, I guess, for like the way that I'm older. Like, I used to be like cool, like, I would walk from my house to the mall one time, which is like a half hour to 40-minute drive.
Jeez.
And I just like, I spent the whole day walking to this. And that, like, as a kid, I was like, this is a thing to do. You know what I mean? Like, I wasn't...
Yeah, no one hangs out at the mall anymore.
And I would hang out inside, like, the music store and just, like, listen to random bands and, like, just talk to people in there and be like, hey, man, how's it going? And, like, oh, this is crazy, talking to the clerk or whatever. Like, now, like, I'll go into a store... Hey, yo, how's it going? Good to see you. All right, here's my thing. Later. I'm trying to get back home. Like, I'm not trying to hang out.
Right. I don't even want them to say hi
Like,
to me.
unless it's, like, a designated, like, place. And then even then, it's like, okay, like, bars are fun occasionally, like, whatever. But, like, most of the time, I'm just like, can we just fucking do this at my house? Mm-hmm. Or your house? Or a house? Can we just... It's a lot more time spent at houses.
Right.
Because I'm, like, not as interested in, like... It's like, oh, do they have a roller coaster there? like, what do they have there that's going to make it... That is, like, a reason I should be there instead of at my house?
That's true.
And it's like, oh, nothing? Okay, can we just do this at my house?
Yeah. Come to my house.
So, I don't know if there's anything else, like, for you that you're like that on.
Being an old person about?
Yeah.
As soon as I put my pajamas on for the day...
Like now.
Right, like now. I'm not fucking leaving my house after that. Like, I've made a decision.
You had to go to your car to get a phone cable, and you were so frustrated by it.
I was...
I wasn't even leaving. That was just a few feet from the house, so...
Yeah. That was tough. If I was, like, sitting comfortably
Are you okay? Sorry I didn't ask earlier.
Am I okay?
It was a traumatic experience,
right? It was.
Going out to your car.
What if someone saw me in my onesie?
I was like, I'm thinking of driving back home just in this.
I think you should. in the event you get pulled over or anything.
One time I did wear this back from the first time I shot one of these episodes. I did, and then I had to get gas. And so I got out, and there's just like cars at the gas.
Well, you're in New Jersey right now. You don't even have to get out of your car.
That's true, but I wasn't in New Jersey when I shot the first episode, so I did have to get out of these pajamas.
Well, just a consideration for the morning.
Yeah. Well,
what else is troubling you?
You had asked me this earlier about zoos, and I'll ask it back to you. If you were in a zoo, what would the visitors appreciate most about you? Like, why would they be like, you need to check out the cat exhibit?
I think they would find me just remarkably boring. I'd be like a sloth.
Would you be the animal that they have to make excuses about?
She's just tired today. She's not usually like this. Usually she's very vibrant and and she's moving around, but she looks really drunk today. I don't know what happened.
There's always the animals.
Oh, I think people would be like, I think not people, but if, like, let's say aliens were to abduct us and we were in a zoo,
Yeah.
I think they would like to see us take drugs.
Mm-hmm.
And so they, in case that's not like a thing in their culture, like intoxication.
Do you think that a zoo would do that though? Maybe like early stage zoo.
Yeah,
I
why
don't know if a late zoo is gonna.
Hey, this isn't a zoo run by humans, perhaps.
So you're saying if aliens ran the kind of zoos that we have,
Yeah, they don't
they'd
care.
be giving mushrooms to like chimpanzees and stuff?
Yeah, and it's like a special exhibit. It's like between April 12th and 17th. Come see the Northern Islanders, Ireland.
What the fuck are you trying to say?
I'm trying to say Northern Ireland.
That was not worth it. That was not worth the level of effort you put into that.
I'm tired.
Hey, come watch this elephant fall into a K-hole. What a fucking zoo. How long do you think it would take before your zoo got shut down?
What would you do if you went to a zoo and like they straight up were like drugging the like giant like mammals like elephants and giraffes and that would be so sad.
You're the one that suggested it.
But we're people. We're terrible. We deserve it.
So they just need a people exhibit.
We did it for like thousands of years. I think it's time for us.
For me, I would be like the exhibit that like they'd have to like make sure their kid kept walking past. I would be like purposely like shitting on the glass.
It would actually be like you need a wristband to get in this part of the exhibit.
Black lights.
Are you 18 or older?
I would definitely be like, because I mean, like already it's like, you know, I follow, you know, this strict regimen of exercise that's called masturbation. And so, you know, I'm like, all right, it's that time of the day.
So you have good cardio, I see.
And so, you know, it'd be like, oh man, fucking keep the guests going. He's doing it again. It's that time of the day. Keep them moving. And so, yeah, I think maybe that would also be why people would be like, you need to stop by the Raslo cage at fucking 3 p.m.
Mommy, is that a potato in its ass? Honey, move along. Move along.
He's just working with the food they gave him.
I'm going to bed soon. What else?
What is Tom Cruise doing right now?
Tom Cruise? Well,
like, he's probably not in Kigurumis.
I feel like he's eating a bowl of like quinoa somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Someone's combing his hair, telling him how beautiful he is. In whatever mansion that he's living in.
You're talking earlier about like pube grooming. I bet that Tom Cruise has a person that's like a pube stylist.
They have like a little baby like round brush that they like blow dry. Today we're doing a blowout, Tom. Ready? We're gonna be nice and fluffy, and they like really put hairspray in it.
He's like, you're gonna have to do you know, bare floor today because I've got this stunt and I need the least amount of wind resistance possible.
I gotta be aerodynamic.
This next Mission Impossible. Wait till you see the next Mission Impossible.
I mean, that's why he broke his ankle in the last one. His pubes were really giving him some wind friction.
Yeah. There was some
he's jumping through the air.
There was some bad downdraft. I was like, no. I think like I don't know how much time he spends on Scientology, but I like to think that he's doing something in the name of Xenu right now. Haven't gone through all the levels yet, so I don't know exactly what it is that one would do at this level that he's at to help Scientology along, other than giving them shit tons of money. But maybe he's doing that. Maybe he's writing like a check to the ghost of L. Ron Hubbard to send it along and go like, good job.
Keep up the good work.
Keep imprisoning people out at sea and taking my money. And they feel like they haven't been doing as much recently.
Either that or we're just, people just put it in the background. Because it's just like, oh, they did a crazy thing again. I'm not surprised.
I've gotten like YouTube like suggestion ads, or autoplay ads that have been like Scientology before. And I was kind of surprised by it. I was like, really? Like, I guess it doesn't technically break any guidelines.
If I was with you in Columbus and you guys were next to the Scientology place, I would have 100% went in there to see what it was about with you guys.
Would you have checked your theme levels?
Of course. You are always at the right place with the wrong people sometimes. You're always sometimes.
You are always someone else's butthole. Well,
signing off.
I'm glad that we solved all these issues that
do you think you're going to be able to fall asleep tonight?
I've got a lot to think about now. I've got a lot to fill these dreams with. So I thank you, dear friend.
All right, good night.
Good night. Thanks for checking out Keeping Me Up. I'd like to thank our guest today, Kat. She's one of my greatest friends, and I love talking to her each and every day. And I hope you enjoyed our chat today as well. Want to support the games, video, or audio content I make? You can donate as much or as little as you'd like on patreon.com/GameYayFun. That's game, GameYayFun. You can check out new episodes broadcast in video form on twitch.tv/GameYayFun. And if you don't have any money but still want to support the show, if you have Amazon Prime, you get Twitch Prime subscription for free. If you set that up, you can subscribe to Game Yay Fun with Twitch Prime and give some of Jeff Bezos' money to me. He's got enough already. Let me know how you like the show by messaging me on Twitter @Raslo, and I'll be back in 2 weeks with a new episode of Keeping Me Up and a new guest. Thanks for your time. I hope you feel gruntled. And also, do something kind for yourself and someone else every day. Good night. Special thanks to music-note.jp for providing the theme song to Keeping Me Up with the track name Desire Moon.